urges youths to embrace military career opportunities. Independent National Electoral Commission pushes for constitutional amendment to aid diaspora voting. Others. And the Florentine United States Trade Representative Office sets Mexico on priority watch list. And in Sport English Premier League clubs, battles over Atalanta winger Ademola Lookman. And now the details. I am Mike James. The Lagos State government has called on youths across the state to seize the opportunity presented by the ongoing 89 regular recruit intake RRI exercise of the Nigerian Army for tradesmen, non-tradesmen and women. Speaking during a stakeholders engagement at the palace of the Olofi of Isheri Kingdom, Secretary to the State Government Bimbola Saluhunde expressed concerns about the historically low enrollment of Lagos youths in the military, attributing it partly to misconceptions about military careers. Saluhunde, while emphasizing the state's commitment to boosting its representation in the military, said the recruitment is conducted on a state-by-state basis, urging eligible youths to participate. She explained that the minimum requirement include 4 passes and core subject at O level or possession of a recognized trade certificate, stressing that enlisting in the military opens pathways to pursue professional careers such as law or medicine while serving. The SSG, who highlighted Sherry's significance, explained that the choice to launch the campaign in the community was deliberate because of Olofi being young himself, resonates with the youth. On this part, the Olofi of Isheri Kingdom, Oba Olasukomi Lawal Bello, expressed deep appreciation for the state initiative, assuring the state government of using his youthful energy to mobilize youths within his domain to partake in the ongoing exercise. He also highlighted ongoing efforts in his domain to support the government's themes plus agenda, particularly in education and healthcare. Lagos State Task Force has intensified its operations against illicit drug activities in its continued efforts to maintain environmental decorum and enforce a zero-tolerance stance against commercial motorcyclists, Okada riders within the Lagos metropolis. Chairman of the Lagos State Task Force, Adetayo Akerele, reaffirmed the agency's unwavering commitment to eliminating criminal elements that threaten the peace and security of residents. The operation led to the apprehension of 2 suspects, Soji Inowale and another individual, Mufu Shobo, who is currently at large for allegedly using motorcycles as couriers to transport illicit drugs across various locations. The suspects are also believed to be involved in other criminal activities such as bag snatching, pickpocketing and shoplifting. During the operation, task force officers uncovered a cache of illegal substances including Colorado, Indian hemp, narcotic drugs, scissors and other controlled items concealed inside a school bag. Akerele said the discovery highlights the growing concern over the misuse of commercial motorcycles for criminal purposes, emphasizing the urgent need for sustained enforcement against recalcitrant riders who endanger public safety on Lagos highways. He also urged members of the public to remain vigilant and promptly report any suspicious activities through the agency's See Something, Say Something initiative. Chairman of the Lagos State Universal Basic Education Board, LASUBEB, Hakeem Shitu, has paid an unscheduled visit to some state primary schools in Lagos on the first day of school resumption in a proactive move to ensure a smooth and effective start to the new academic term. The chairman, accompanied by top officials of the board, visited schools across multiple local government areas, interacting directly with pupils, teachers, and school administrators. The visit aimed to assess the level of preparedness of schools, monitor pupil turnout, inspect facilities, and reinforce the government's commitment to quality education delivery. And speaking during the visit, Shitu emphasized the importance of punctuality, discipline, and a conducive learning environment. He also commended schools that showed impressive readiness and urged those with identified gaps to work swiftly to address them. And now to the rest of the stories. Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has renewed calls for the amendment of the Constitution to allow Nigerians in the diaspora, as well as certain categories of citizens within the country, to participate in future elections. Beyond expanding voting access, the Commission is also advocating reforms to modernize the process of voter identification. The proposals were included in a comprehensive set of electoral reform recommendations presented by INEC aimed at improving the legal structure that underpins Nigeria's electoral system. INEC also proposed that sections of the 1999 Constitution be amended to introduce early, special, out-of-country diaspora and inmate voting. According to it, it would ensure inclusivity by enabling eligible Nigerians who are outside the country, incarcerated or engaged in essential services during elections to exercise their right to vote. The Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Kudirat Kekereekun, has declared as worrisome the over 112 electricity-related deaths and 95 injuries recorded last year in the Nigerian electricity supply industry, NESI. This is just as she challenged the judiciary to stamp its feet in the enforcement of the industry's safety regulations. Kekereekun made this known in her keynote address at the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, NEC, 2025 seminar for judicial officers in Abuja. She said the judiciary must hold operators who fail to comply with the safety regulations accountable. And in some foreign news, the United States Trade Representative's Office, USTR, has placed Mexico on its priority watch list on intellectual property rights, citing long-standing concerns over enforcement against trademark counterfeiting and protection of pharmaceutical-related IP. United States Treasury Secretary said the administration was in discussions with 15 to 18 key trading partners over the hefty U.S. tariffs announced by President Donald Trump on 2nd of April, but suspended until the 8th of July. United States Trade Representative's Office said the specific concerns on Mexico centered on enforcement against trademark counterfeiting and copyright piracy, protection of pharmaceutical-related IP, pre-established damages for copyright infringement, and trademark counterfeiting, as well as plant variety protection. USTR added that Mexico, which had been on the watch list for several years, was moved to the higher priority group, citing what it called long-standing and significant concerns that have not been resolved. And over to sports news. English Premier League giants Chelsea, Manchester United, Newcastle and Liverpool are on the trail of Atalanta winger Ademola Lookman. Lookman is expected to leave Atalanta at the end of the season. The 26-year-old has once again impressed with a superlative display for Ladir. The former RB Leipzig player already has 25 goal contributions for Gian Piero Gasparini's side in this campaign, with 18 goals and 7 assists. According to reports, the 4 Premier League clubs will hold talks with his representatives before the end of the season. That was our news at 12, but just before we go, maintain adequate distance from the vehicle ahead of you to avoid collision. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms: X, Traffic Radio 961, Facebook, Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, Instagram, Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Subscribe and watch our news and programs live on YouTube, Traffic Radio 961. You can also visit our website, www.trafficradio961.ng. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration constructed watchtowers with alarm bells and perimeter fences in model colleges? You can always get details on the Legacy Government website. And to end the news, here are the highlights of the major stories. The Legacy Government has called on youth across the state to seize the opportunity presented by the ongoing 89 regular recruit intake RRI exercise of the Nigerian Army for tradesmen and non-tradesmen and women. The Independent National Electoral Commission INEC has renewed calls for the amendment to the Constitution to allow Nigerians in the diaspora, as well as certain categories of citizens within the country, to participate in future elections. And we also told you that the United States Trade Representative's Office has placed Mexico on its priority watch list on intellectual property rights, citing long-standing concerns over enforcement against trademark counterfeiting and protection of pharmaceutical-related IP. And in sports, English Premier League giants Chelsea, Manchester United, Newcastle and Liverpool are on the trail of Atalanta winger Ademola Lookman. And for contacts with the newsroom, send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. That ends the news broadcast compiled by Mojid Ololade. Thank you for listening, Lagos. My name is Mike James. Good afternoon.